you mentioned that you take protein powder every day in the breakfast. But nowadays on the internet, especially from past few months, there is this thing about protein powder is not good and is actually not meant for humans. And I've seen someone's video on that, and also I'm not sure how much truth is there in that.
Okay. Protein powders actually, protein powder is derived from milk itself. Whey protein powders, especially. That's what I use. Whey proteins are derived from milk, nothing more. There is, like, they refine it. If you observe, uh, if you leave buttermilk for so long, if it is a thick buttermilk, there is a layer will be there. The water layer, which is yellow in color, if you
Okay.
there is a layer that is called whey. The yellow layer is called whey. They extract that from milk a lot, and they convert it into protein powder.
Okay.
Yeah, in the industries, they refine it, and in no way it is harmful. The thing is, you have to choose the brand properly.
Okay.
You just can't take uh you just can't take brands which are like, I went to the store and this guy suggested me this, so I
Mm. Correct.
yeah,
Okay.
just check the label, check the ingredients, and there is something called amino acid profile. You have, if there are some brands that mentions the amino acid profile.
Okay.
If there is an amino acid profile, that is a legit.
Good brand. Oh,
Yeah, if most people in ingredients, they say like perpetual blend.
okay.
Perpetual.
Okay.
Yeah, they say it like perpetual blend, which means there are some ingredients in it which they can't mention.
Oh.
You have to really look for the ingredients and amino acid profile. That's it. No, but if key is no harm. Completely safe. We both are taking protein powders since.
Yeah, many people are taking, but I don't know why it's all of a sudden it has started. Like over the past few months, this has started. Yeah,
There are many brands coming up, and people really don't know which brand to pick because whey protein is not cheap.
correct.
Keeping our thing aside, if you take a Cerelac box of a
Yeah.
baby and if you read the label, the first ingredient will be whey protein.
Yes, sir. In every baby formula food, this is the whey protein is the main ingredient in baby formulas. If you look at it in Cerelac noodles or whatever it is, that is the main ingredient. So they are giving it to babies. It can't be bad for us as adults. So the main thing is you have to look for the legit brand, and you have to look for the ingredients and get suggestions from the right persons. Like, don't just take a suggestion from your friend who doesn't know anything, or he's just using,
Or from some salesperson.
yeah, from say please not any ads
Wow.
your favorite actor or celebrities on it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you so much. This was a very useful insight. Will help a lot of people. Now, I just wanted to know nowadays vitamin D deficiency is not nowadays actually. It's there from couple. It's maybe 5 6 years or more than that. That many women, especially in India, are developing a lot of vitamin D deficiency. So, what are your thoughts on this, and what is your advice to them?
So vitamin D deficiency is most common both in men and women these days because of lack of exposure to sunlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, in, as you said, back in the day, not maybe 5 6 years, maybe 15 to 20 years back, people really used to expose to sun. Yeah, children used to play outside in the, like, actual games they used to
Correct. Correct. Not video games and not TV.
pass video games. So at least everyone, not just children, everyone used to spend some time in the sun. They used to go by walk to grocery store or
Yeah, yeah. See, adults also used to take their kids outside. So it's not like now you're leaving them with the nanny and they are going outside and you are inside. So
Yeah, somehow, somehow the other way they used to get the sun exposure. Now I think it's completely decreased to nothing.
It's nothing, yeah.
Almost nothing, almost zero. And there are few people who are prioritizing it as to take their children out, and I'm happy for them. But it is a common problem for both men and women, children, and everyone. The main solution for it is there are supplements, there are foods in which vitamin D can be found. But
Okay.
the ultimate solution is to spend at least 20 minutes of your time per day in the sun. There is no better solution for having vitamin D in your body than sunlight. And
Okay.
if in any case,
Time for the sunlight exposure. After 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, no, it's the harsh UV light and all.
it's the harsh gut.
Yeah.
Yeah, UV rays only in that sunlight only vitamin D we get vitamin D, but it is not ideal. So at least in the morning sun,
Okay.
in the early morning, that soft sun, if you outside, it is
As a software night shift employee, I work in the night time and sleep in the
yeah.
Right.
It was coming to this. Yeah, if you are a person who can't get out for sunlight,
Yeah.
there are foods. If you're a non-vegetarian, luckily, if you're a non-vegetarian, most seafoods have abundant vitamin D you can get from. So prioritize having that at least 3 times a week of seafood, whatever seafood you can get. And if you are a vegetarian, mushrooms are the best source. Mushrooms are really best source. Milk is also a best source.
Okay.
And there are few fortified foods like orange juice and milk also.
Milk also comes fortified, yes.
Yeah, everyone can't get pure full cream milk everywhere. So then few fortified milks which vitamin D is added into it.
Yes, yes.
So you can take that. And ultimately, if you can't have any of those, then there are supplements.
Yeah.
So there are supplements. And I suggest everyone to take vitamin D test at least like 6 months once to levels are optimal or optimal. If you don't have it in optimal range, then consulting a doctor and why consulting a doctor? Because the dosages, because foods are very important if you are sick from supplements. So they suggest the better dose.
Yeah, and overdosage is also not good.
Also not. Yeah, dosages are very. And don't take it by yourself as you're just googling it and taking it. Don't do that.
Yeah, correct. Would land up with some other problem then.
Yeah.
So also nowadays, I have seen around me, many people are eliminating milk from their diet completely. They are saying that it is not required. And I'm seeing across age groups, it is not only say the new generation they are reading online or something. Even the older generation also have told me, not my parents of course, but some family friends and all. So I'm just wondering because I'm a milk lover. I just love it. So at least I need to have 1 cup in a day minimum. Oh, is it really bad or is it not giving us the required calcium which we require in the day? Or is it okay to substitute the milk with something else? How is it?
Yeah. Milk. If you really like milk, you can take milk every single day. And if you are digesting it well, then it is very good. You can take it with no problem, without any issues. But if you are someone who's having difficulties digesting it, if it is disrupting your gut, then in that case, stop taking milk. Milk mostly, from what I learned recently, milk is not completely required, like necessary for adults.
Okay.
It's not necessary, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't take it.
Mm.
If you're like just as you said, you like milk and you want to take it, you have to take it every single day, then just take it. There's no problem in it. if you are someone who's like, yeah, I can go by a day without taking milk.
Okay, then how about my calcium intake in case I'm skipping milk someday?
Leafy greens.
Okay.
Leafy greens, you get more calcium from leafy greens from than milk.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. But ultimate source is milk.
Ragi also, no? I heard ragi is also good for
Yeah, good, but calcium and iron both.
iron also.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you can't take milk, but if you are in a assumption that you have to take milk, then you don't have.
There's nothing like that.
They say that you don't have to take it. There is no position in it. For children are up to certain age, it is necessary for
Recommended. Okay.
it is recommended to take, but not as an adult. It is not required.
Okay. Okay. Is it basically like absorption of the milk as you grow old is not so great?
Most people say, yeah, it is not required. Like,
Okay.
the nutrients you get from it you can get from other foods you are eating as an adult.
Okay. So now we'll come to, genetics, body types, different types of body shapes. Because see, now many people are into the impression that I will hit the gym or I will go on some crash diet to get into some perfect figure, the zero figure, so called. But see, whatever you do, your body is made in a certain way, and that structure you will not lose, or that mass distribution will not go. Right. I mean, you will not lose your genetics basically. So, that is one important message which we need to give to everybody out there. So, what do you have to say about this?
Okay, there are body types. Uh, Clearly, there are body types, especially in women. We see lot of body types. As you said, according to our genetics, we are given a particular body shape or body type with our birth. With puberty, after hitting puberty, the hormonal changes that happens in one's body, because everyone does not have, I mean, the hormonal changes is different from one person to another person, so it also depends. But I think the main part in body type or body shape is genetics. You cannot change it if you do, like if you starve yourselves.
Correct. Right. If you crazy fasting or do crazy gymming, you can't change your body type.
You can't. I mean, it's here to accept. Yeah, you have to accept, and the main thing you should focus is to eat healthy. What it means by being healthy is move more, have lots of activity, have less body fat percentage, have more muscle in your body, eat mostly home cooked meals. I'm not saying to eat completely at home, because we are human. We like certain foods and we want to eat those foods outside. So,
And we have only one lifetime to explore all that. Exactly.
so 80% of the time, what I would say, 6 times a week or 5 times a week. 6 times a week, if you can hit it, like if you can eat 6 times a week whole and it is great. And one day outside, there is no problem.
No problem.
And also, I would suggest, if you want to eat outside, like, know what you're eating.
Yeah.
Just don't go randomly and have it, because that will also impact our body. Just because you're in this 80-20 healthy ratio doesn't mean you can go and eat whatever you want. What I would suggest is, and this is what I followed, I mostly avoid fried food and mostly street food, which I feel like it has a lot of reused oil. Yeah, that kind of oil you see completely black. You find you question yourself, really, is that really an oil or something else? So if you want to it, go to a place where they don't completely use reused oils every single.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, just know where you're eating and know how they are. And we can't really we completely can't know how they are cooking, but at least have food from hygienic places.
Mm. Yes, very
But
important.
there are some food standards, some standards to the cooking.
I wanted to know the importance of ghee in day-to-day life. How important is ghee in everyone's life? How much quantity ideally should take, maybe in percentage or something like that? Or if you say spoons or something, these many spoons per day at least. And because not everybody realizes the value and then they try to skip ghee even in the name of, no, it's not good for health. So what are your thoughts?
Okay. The end of the day, it's a kind of fat, but I'd say it's a healthy fat.
Healthy fat. Yes.
Cooking oils we get outside, because what I would suggest, if you're having ghee, make it at home, or at least source it from somewhere where you know that they're making it at home.
Okay.
There are places where you can get ghee where they make it at home.
Okay.
It is best to have homemade ghee, because these commercialized ghees, we don't know if they are really having good quality ghee or not.
Okay.
So there are few brands, because I don't exactly know the names, because I never had any commercial ghees.
You have homemade ghee only.
Yeah, most of the time, and personally I don't take it every single day, but I take it, I like ghee,
Mm.
and end of the day it is a fat source, and I know that I shouldn't exceed it fat intake. So what I do is I cook food in ghee instead of oil.
Oh, nice.
Hadkas with ghee. So I do that. If you are, I mean, putting it on top of rice is good, but as if you know that it is exceeding your limit of fat, you have to per day, and you still want to eat ghee, you cook. You can cook your food, and
Okay, or food. Okay.
yeah, that is the best option. And ghee is actually important for gut health also. There is a lining for gut lining, we say it. If there is a problem, I heard that if there is a problem, if you take ghee regularly, that gut line will be healed.
Will hear it. Okay. Great.
So that is a great thing to be. And culturally also, us Indians take lot of ghee.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah, but see, earlier we used to take lot of ghee. Like say your parents, my parents' generation and all, they used to eat ghee very regularly. But from our generation onwards, we started cutting down. Especially even initially, I also used to think, no, no, no. I was in one period during 10th and all. After 10th, I was on this weight loss journey. So I cut off that. I did one very crazy diet. I cut off everything. Now I'm realizing that actually it is required. But maybe I think if you're getting the healthy fats from some other sources, then I think you can balance it.
yeah.
But I think it is also very good for your joints,
Yes.
joint health.
Any kind of, I mean, oil, people say oil is also important, but I don't think any refined oil is required. Ask me.
Yeah.
If you can source, just use cold pressed oils or homemade ghee for cooking. If I can do it regularly every single day, I'll definitely do that.
But not ghee, which other oil do you use for cooking?
Most of the time I use actually normal cooking oil only, but whenever
Oil or something.
whenever I can, I use ghee, and I like to cook with ghee actually. Ghee gives lots of flavor to the flavor, is my personal opinion. I like to cook food in ghee. And also some cold pressed oils. There are few cold pressed oils, and you can source them locally also. There is no need to go to a fancy grocery store and buy it with high price. You can, if there is any access locally, you can go and source from there. I mean, if you are living in India, I think every single city, town, and every single place in India have local places where they can do cold press oil.
Okay, cold press oils, yes, if it is of course the healthier option, but is it affordable for an average Indian family? And how, because an average Indian family size is say 4 to 5 people, like that. So if I want to manage cold press oils which are actually expensive for the whole month, how do I do that?
Okay, here is the thing. Most people don't even consider oil, like the amount of oil they cook in, because even when people think that they are eating healthy, I mean, most people I saw, when they want to lose weight or something, they just cut carbohydrates. They just don't eat rice. They say that rice is the enemy, and they cook curry or whatever it is normally. Normally, in the sense, they don't
With a lot
use
of
the-
oil.
Yeah, they don't use the oil amount, and they just cook it. What they don't understand is, this is the thing most people don't realize. 10 grams of oil contains 100 calories. You don't really give much of a thought. One tablespoon is 10 grams. I mean, in how many tablespoons you are cooking for the food?
Yeah.
They just pour it. They just don't even, some people, they just don't even do it with the spoons or whatever. They just,
Yeah. They just directly pour it from the bottle.
yeah, from the bottle or can, whatever they're using. They don't even know how much they're cooking in. They cook it in almost like anywhere between 60 to 70 grams of oil, which is 700 calories. From oil itself, you're getting 700 calories. And even if you eat between 4 to 5 people, it's still a lot, because that's only oil, calories coming from oil only. And
Yeah, we have not counted the other calories.
yeah, you still have vegetables and rice, and you just don't eat one curry for the meal. You just eat sambar or cut. Yeah, and calculating all those, you get calories high. So what you can do is, you can just minimize the amount of oil you use. Even if you want to use cold press, really want to use cold press oils and want to afford it, just minimum make uh cut down the amount of oil you use per meal. If it is if you're cooking for 2 people, for one dish you can take 10 grams, which is also healthy. You can cook with less oil. Most people think that if you cook with more oil, it will be more tasty.
Yeah.
I get it, but if you look it in a bigger perspective, if you compare it between your health and taste, what's more important to you? It's really comes down to your priority.
It's also not only about the calories, also about the cholesterol that you're adding into.
Exactly. They think, yeah, cutting down on oil really helps if you want to use cold press oils.
So, do you also have cheat meals, both of you, in the day, in the week? Maybe one cheat meal in the week, something like that, or is that a concept you don't like at all? What is this cheat meal?
Okay. Cheat meals. I mean, when I started my fitness journey, I used to have them. But now, it's not like, I don't consider eating it as like, yeah, I have to have at least one cheat meal per week, or to really satisfy those cravings and all. Firstly, I don't get much cravings now, like I used to get. I have a very sweet tooth. I used me to stop sweets. I really love sweets. Um, but after I just said, as I told that, we completely didn't go anywhere in that 6 months when we were trying to lose weight. In those 6 months, we did not really eat any outside food or any food outside our meal plan.
Okay.
So, in that process, I did not eat any sweets. Specifically, it's that like the taste of sweet I'm getting is from my protein powder. That's it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that really satisfies that cravings. If I'm eating anything, anything sweeter than that, I can't handle it now.
Now you can't handle it.
Now I
You're
can't.
used to it. Yeah.
Now I really can't handle it. If there is a particular sweet I really want to eat, for example, say Badshah,
Mm.
after one bite, I can't keep it. I can't keep it down my throat. I can't. It's really impossible. Um, I would say it's a good thing for me now.
Good.
Because-
Yeah.
Yeah. So cheat meals, as of cheat meals, if we really want to eat food, I like fries, French fries. I really like French fries. We have an air fryer at home.
Best.
Yes, just make it at home. That's it. If we get any cravings, but I'd say we still eat every now and then, not like a particular cheat meal kind of thing. Nothing like
You don't have any routine basically. There are one cheat meal, but only if you feel like you want to have anything, then you try to make a healthy option of it.
Yeah.
Not go and binge eat or something like that.
no.
Yeah.
Binge eating is also a really big problem. People don't even realize how much they're eating when they're binging. They just put on a show, series or something, and they just eat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. So in general, I think what we have to note is cheat meal. I mean, if your body is really craving for something, look for, if possible, first of all, see, because I have seen that in some cases, if you're craving too much sweet, then it's this deficiency like that. So try to note what is missing in your diet, firstly. Try to substitute it with that and go with the healthier options, maybe dates, raisins. Those are also good if you're having a sweet craving.
Dark chocolate is also a good option.
Correct. Dark chocolate, but it has to be, yeah, correct. Yeah.
About 70% dark.
Yeah. So there's those things. And yeah, it's okay to eat once in a while outside, but be very conscious what you're eating, where you're eating, how much. Portion control.
Yeah, exactly. If you know where to stop. If you love donuts, just eat one. Choose a flavor you want to choose what you want to eat, and have one donut. Or if you went out with friends and if you are sharing, like that is great. But please sit and eat 6 donuts by yourself.
Correct. Yeah.